Staying up. I'm wilding out. I'm leaning in.
Hey, what's up guys? By the time you watch this video, Acer would have already released the Liquid E700 in partnership with Snapdeal.com exclusively today, and they would have announced the price as well. We do not have the price of this device yet because we got this device obviously before the release, and unlike any other some of the videos where we just give you a quick first look and first impression overview of the device at the time of the release, at this onset of the release of the Acer Liquid E700, I'll bring you a full in-depth hands-on review along with the performance and photo video qualities and all those other jazz. So let's get started, and by the time I finish you would have already made the mind about whether to get this device today or not. So the Liquid E700 Acer, it was announced in June 2014 worldwide, but it kind of was released in August, and it's coming to India today. It's a fairly compact box, as you can see. Not very colorful. It's a pretty conventional business-like box. You have the 5-inch device out there. That's how you look. We have the black color. You also get the red color, but that more looks like maroon to me. On the back side, you have some quick specs, and you'll see so some of the USPs of this device is that you have a big 3500 mAh battery, and your GPS 8MP camera, 5-inch screen, and a MediaTek quad-core processor, 155 gram weight. That's pretty heavy. And also it has a flash along with the front camera. We're gonna come to those. Supports microSD card and some of the other things. Your 16 GB flash memory, 2 GB of RAM. So pretty powerful device out here. The whole box is printed with soya ink, so it's 100% recyclable. And then some of the other marketing information, but as you can see, you don't have the price listed anywhere. It only has an HD screen, so that's gonna help the battery life a lot if you're not particular about a very crisp full HD display. So we're gonna quickly go ahead and you're gonna unbox this with our trusty knife out here. I'm gonna cut this from here and then cut this from here, and then I'm gonna open the box, and then you will see here that's the device already. Yeah, we'll come back to the device just in a bit. So inside you get some manual, so that's kind of, I think, the quick start guide, and then you have some service center list. You also have some license information, and I think that's another guide of sort. And then you have the 2 ampere round pin adapter. It's a USB adapter. Note that this device was released in UK first, so you might get a different UK plug in the UK. This is in India, so some countries you get those round pins. And then you have your micro USB 2.0 cable. You also have the earphones out here, which are not very premium kind, but some of the things I like. One thing is they are in-ear type, so they're gonna go inside your ear, and that helps preventing outside noise from coming in when you're while you're enjoying the music. You also have flat wires, so they're not gonna tangle much. You do not have the volume rocker, but you have the call control button out here, and as well as the mic. The audio jack is silver plated. So that's about all the content of the box really. So there's our Acer Liquid E700. It's a pretty conventional looking phone, not much detour from the industrial friendly design and build quality. You have an all plastic body plus this IPS screen. However, the contours and the curves of the phone plus this rubber coating on the back side makes this phone immensely comfortable holding, immensely comfortable in hand, and you almost will never drop it, even if you use it continuously with one hand, and maybe even if you're traveling in the metro or train or wherever. This guy is very, very comfortable, and I think it's one of the most comfortable device to hold, most comfortable 5-inch device to hold. 5-inch screen is not a small screen, so I'm making it as comfortable as this device is really important for the manufacturers. We also love the subtle change like this, subtle curves on both sides here, and very subtle curves here around here. We like that design element, that subtle addition to the the comfortness of the device. And this device, despite of being a very industrial friendly, ended up being a slightly different looking device than the others, and that's, I think, a triumph in itself. However, despite of being a rubber back, it actually attracts a lot of fingerprints and oil. Not exactly fingerprint, but oil. You can see it already is attracting oils and greases and stuff here, and this thing does not go off easily, unlike the front, which is very glossy, attracts a lot of fingerprints, but you can quickly and easily wipe it off. So you have the 5-inch screen, as I told you, 720p resolution, and it's an IPS screen, so that makes it less than 300 ppi of color density. One of the USPs out here, you have the 2MP front camera fixed focus. However, that camera is accompanied by an LED flash, which is, I think, one of the novelty out here. I haven't seen many devices that comes with a flash on along with the front camera. You have the Oppo N1 and N1 Mini, which has a rotatable camera but a dedicated flash for online, and another one on the back with the back camera, and one with the front camera. So this kind of pretty rare and good thing. However, I really wished, because you went that much, you could have gone all the way and probably given us a 5MP camera. That would have made this phone a great selfie phone. No problem. You have 2 speakers situated on the front. You have the typical shortcut keys out there. You have back, home, and recent app menu key, and then nothing much on this side. Hole to open the back flap, your mouthpiece, volume rocker, micro USB 2.0 port, power button, and the 3.5mm jack. Now, because this device, despite of being a 5-inch device, although it's not much bigger, but still it's big enough for you to have to hunt for this power key out there. Would have loved the power key to be here, and micro USB port could have gone here or somewhere else. So here you have the 8MP autofocus camera that can record at full HD, accompanied by an LED flash. You have a secondary noise cancelling mic, the Acer Rapid button, Acer branding, and then let's see, DTS Studio Sound branding. So this Acer Rapid can be configured in settings. We're gonna show that to you. You can open the back flap, and you would see that it's a pretty thick plastic back flap, and you cannot remove the battery. It's a monster battery, 3500 mAh battery. And another USP of the device, you do not have 1, not 2, instead you have 3 SIMs, 3 micro SIM card slots. That's I think the SIM 1, 2, 3 goes here, and you also have micro SD card support out here. And that's about it. That's about the phone. So Acer E700 is slightly late to the party with the specs that this guy carries. It's powered by a MediaTek MT6582 chipset, which is a pretty modest chipset. It comes with again a pretty modest CPU of 1.2 GHz quad-core Cortex A7 Mali 400 MP2 GPU, and 2 GB of RAM. Good thing is 16 GB of flash memory. So you can see the spec sheet is not exactly cutting edge, but the E700 comes with more than one USP and novelties like flash with the front camera, 3 SIMs, very nice industrial design, and kind of 3500 mAh battery. That's a lot, at least for an HD screen. The Acer Liquid E700 has a 5-inch screen. It's HD resolution, and as you would expect, it's not exactly your the crispest type of display. However, it's quite bright. As you can see, in full brightness it goes quite bright. The colors does not go away due to the full brightness. And if you go to here, and I just want to show you how it looks like in the least brightness, it goes pretty dark. So we're gonna keep that to auto, and the icons look just okay, but if you really go close on that, then those might look pixelated. We're gonna check out some of our photos. First is our color card, which actually looks pretty good. However, it does not exactly differentiate between the color palettes of these two. This was more towards maroon, this one is red, but here the difference is not as much as it is actually. But apart from that, rest look just about okay. You can see even when we zoom in, the detail is almost intact. I can see very slight noise, but that's okay for this resolution. Now about the black, well, they are not exactly black, but I'm gonna go increase the brightness and see how it looks. And I increase the brightness and let's check out how it looks. The photos, and it looks definitely much better, but not exactly, you know, black. But still, it's a good enough display, I would say. And I'm just gonna go ahead and play a video and see how it plays. Specifically important, the darker scenes of a video should play good. The color rendition is fine. The viewing angle is just above average, nothing special. Being an IPS screen. What's important is, I notice, is that you see, you can see the small furs on his like coat out here. That's a really good thing. So they are not exactly you know, they're not exactly like low resolution, or they're not exactly eating out the details, I would say. This is a good thing. Even the metallic shine on this is intact.
Take the 5. It is time for the next phase of your journey. My fist hungers for justice.
The screen looks great, you know, as far as there is brightness.
Get to that tower without being spotted by those wolves.
Good enough display, I would say. I don't see much negatives of this display. So good display overall. Yeah. So Liquid E700 is powered by Android KitKat 4.4.2, and you have Acer's Liquid UI on top. It's a pretty heavy UI, so you will experience some lag in day-to-day life, although not annoying. But you have a lot of animations and all stuff, and then you come to the home screen, you have a notification bar, and there's a quick function toggle bar. You can go to settings right from there, and then your app dock, you know, those home screens, and you can long press there. Long pressing on the back, nothing happened. Here nothing happened. Long press on this and you would go to Google now. Recent app menu, and a long press will bring out the system menu, or the menu on the home screen basically. So here you can do away with apps one by one like this, or you can remove all. You also have some floating apps, so you can add them from here. Yeah, and then floating app meaning then you can use this app over another screen. You see, and they're also like kind of slightly transparent so that you can see what's going on in the background. You also have these many apps out there. So the default Google apps, you have Acer's in-house apps as well, but I don't see many third-party apps, which is a good thing. But you have Polaris Office, of course, that's one of the third-party, but not many third parties. However, the skin on top of the default Android KitKat is quite heavy, and let's go ahead and check out our settings. So that's how you can reorder them basically. You can just go ahead on anyone, switch on or off, you know, just like that. And then I can go here, go to settings from there. So usual connection settings, but there are a few things. For example, you have audio profiles, you have DTS studio sound, you can switch on that. Display storage, and there's out of 16 GB, but see how much, 11.82 GB, so just under 12 GB is available, which is really usual. And then you also have the Acer Rapid button, which is this button, and you can configure it to have different to have it open different applications out here. By default it opens the Google Play Music, also long press for camera. So basically you go here, you press it once, it will open Google Play Music. There, see, it also act as a pause and play button. You long press this and it's gonna open the camera app out there. Yeah, let's go to settings again, and you have this personalization. Yeah. Flip wake up, you can add these many accounts, and then your about phone, you can see 4.4.2. I liked it. Sometimes I require, more often than not, I require to tap twice in the soft key. So that's one of the thing I think I'm not liking that much. And also you have SIM management. I don't have any SIM out here because I don't want to call in between, but you can go ahead and you can manage all 3 SIMs. So you have the dialer out here, big enough dialer, not much to see. And then you have some messages and the keyboard. So by default it uses the swipe keyboard, which is good enough, but Swift key was better. I like Swift key better than swipe, mainly because of the ability to add a dedicated number row on the top. That's the single most important, a single best feature I like in a keyboard that came from Samsung. I guess Samsung started giving it first. I don't know. You have gallery, so all the photos and videos are arranged in stack. You can go ahead and we can edit those. So pretty much like the stock, and there you see, not much difference out there. Then your 8MP camera. Yeah, so you have the focus points, you have the exposure scales, you also have them both together, and it's pretty fast. Yeah, you can start your video from here first. Take stills, pause it, stop it, whatever you want. You have lots of modes, as you can see: capture mode, HDR, panorama, and multi-angle, mono, sepia. You also have your video settings and WB settings, and those exposure compensation settings, your timer, that's how you switch to the front camera. And even in the front camera, luckily now you can switch on flash, and the moment you do, there you see, switches on the flash, which is a very welcome addition, I would say. So a pretty usual UI, and the photo and video qualities are good enough under enough light. You have good enough detail, the saturation and hue are proper. They are slightly on the softer side, but that's expected from this sensor size. You also see noise when the photos are zoomed into 100%. Under low light, the details reduces considerably, but if you have good enough artificial light, like indoor, in a room or in a party scene, then this camera performs pretty well. The front camera is also pretty good, and thanks to the flash, you can actually take your selfies in a darker area. However, I would have liked the front camera to be at least 5MP so that we have that full-fledged selfie camera. 2MP is still not enough, not good enough quality for a selfie. Of course it's good enough at times to upload to Facebook, but 5MP I think would have been more apt. The videos are sharp enough, there are no fuzziness, although they are quite soft, and under low light again the details are missing. So you have 2 music apps, AB Music and then a Google Play Music. I'm gonna show you Google Play Music and see how it plays. Not very loud. Of course you can change your equalization and all those stuff from here. The bass is average, it's good enough. Even the treble. So like the music output, it's relatively bass heavy, and it's good enough in treble as well, but we would have liked the speaker to be slightly louder. You've heard the sound before on the music.
Anything is possible.
It sounds quite good, but again the loudness is kind of missing. So as I told you before, the skin is pretty heavy on top of the stock Android ROM, so you would experience some lag into your day-to-day life, although not annoying. So you have to make sure you kill your apps, frequently enough. Having said that, note that it's not different from some of the other phones at this price point. So if you compare it relatively, this is very, very smooth, but in general I'm saying. And also the battery life is very good. It has a 3500 mAh battery, the HD screen, so it's relatively low resolution, that it's less battery. We got somewhere around between 16 to 16 and a half hours of moderate usage of battery. However, we only used 2 SIMs, at times 1 SIM. We do not have 3 SIMs. If you use all the 3 SIMs together, that's gonna reduce the battery life considerably, and we assume that your battery life would be slightly over 11 or 12 hours, and specifically in places where your SIMs continuously search for networks. We did some gameplay and benchmark testing as well. It performed mixed, and you can check out our dedicated videos about those. So then, should you get the Acer Liquid E700? Well, I don't exactly know the price at this point, so I can't comment about the competitors, although I expected it to be slightly between 10 to 15k. So I expect the main competitors to this would be the Asus Zenfone 5 or the Huawei Honor Holly, and even it could be the Moto E or Moto G. So if it's Moto G and Zenfone 5 and Honor Holly, then this guy has pretty tough competition, because each of those devices are very, very well rooted at those price point. However, the Acer Liquid E700 brings in, I think, more specific features, more novelty features, or more different than usual features than all of these phones put together. You have 3 SIMs, not 2. You also have the very, the Acer Rapid button, which some might mistake for the LG G2 buttons, but it's not exactly power or volume up down button. It's mainly a shortcut key. So that's a very good feature. You have flash for the front camera. None of those devices have those, and you also have a 3500 mAh battery. That's a huge battery. 5-inch screen, a big enough screen. I also like the bass output, and although it does not perform in benchmark that well, but still overall I did not find any problem, no annoying lag whatsoever in using this phone. And one of the best thing about this phone is the ergonomics. The feel of the device is incredible, and it's probably the best among all these 4 devices that I've mentioned. So you might want to play safe and go and buy a Moto G or an Asus Zenfone 5, because they're already in the market, they're selling very well, so you know that people are liking them. Or you might just want to take a chance and go with this guy, but this guy will give you, if you are in specific need and if you like any of those features, those novelty features that I talked about, this guy has some features that none of those other devices have. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything related to this device, and we'll try to answer them all. And please subscribe to our channel for more such awesome content in future. We also have a Facebook group. You can go and join that, and the community would be there to answer all your queries. Thank you.